everyone, I'm just here with an update video. We went to the hospital today for my baseline scan and it showed that the lining of my uterus was thin, ready for everything, and that there was no large cysts or anything on my ovaries to prevent us going ahead. So we are starting our stimulation today. Yay! So they've prescribed me Menopur 150 IU, so 150 units, and that's this stuff. So that's Menopur 150, and they come looking like this. So I've got the little solution ampule, and then there's the powder in there that I need to mix it with, which I'll be doing in a minute and showing you. So far on my Brazilian, I'm on day, just having a look, just check and see what it says. 4, 5. So I'm on day 6 of my cycle, of my normal cycle that it would be, and then I've been charting everything, so that's all our time there, that's all the injections I've done so far. So we're up to here, and that's where the pink is the Menopur, which I'm starting today. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, so 15. So today's day 16 of my Brucellering. Now I need to continue with that as normal. So I need to do my Brucellering, and then straight after I need to do my Menopur. With regards to side effects, I haven't really had any other than feeling really tired, like just tired all the time and quite irritable. I've been quite cranky and short with people, but it's better than having all the kind of painful headaches and the hot flushes and everything. So far none of that, touch wood. But yeah, we've been doing fine with everything else. So they've given me another kind of medicine chart, which is this one. Sorry, just covering my personal details. So this is that. So this takes me up to, so that's 5 doses. So that will take me up to Monday, which is when I have my next scan, and that will be in the morning. So that's the 24th, I think it is. So I've got enough here to take me on to then. So they dispense them, they dispense it really quickly. I have them like in 5 minutes. And I've got this big bag. This is what they give you with everything in. Inside my bag I have got syringes, lots and lots of syringes, and they're 2 ml syringes, but they go up to 2.5. So that's them. I've also got in here more alcohol swabs, just in case. Some ampule snappers. Now these are what you put on top of the little ampules to snap the top off, so that you're not kind of hurting yourself, cutting your fingers or anything off. We also have 2 lots of syringes in my bag as well. So the first lot, these are ones that you do not put in you under any circumstances. These are the, what size, 18 gauge 1.5 inch needle. That's these ones. So those do not go in you at all. These are just for mixing, because you need to mix that liquid into that bottle and mix it all together. So yeah, that's just purely for mixing, as I'll show you in a bit. The one that actually goes in you isn't actually much bigger than the insulin needles I've been using for my Brucellering. So really tiny, if you can see that. Yeah, so they're going to be absolutely fine, hopefully. What I've decided to do is I'm going to do alternative sides. So far I've been changing sides every day, so I do 2 days on my right side, 2 days on my left side. So what I'll be doing with this is I'll do my Brucellering on one side and my Menopur on the other, and then the following day I'll switch sides. Hopefully that means I'll be less sore with everything. So yeah, I've got a nice big bag of goodies. So I'll put that out of the way. But I've got everything set out for what I need for today's treatment. So what I need for my Bricellerin, I obviously need Bricellerin, alcohol swab and a syringe. That's all I really need for that one, and I've got it so good now that I can do it in less than a minute. Well, not drawing up, I can probably from start to finish, it takes me 5 minutes, so drawing up Bricellerin and actually injecting myself usually takes about 5 minutes, so it doesn't take you a lot of time. It has helped setting reminders on my phone, so I set a reminder for 8 o'clock and 8:15 just to remind myself. But what I need for my Menopur, I've got another alcohol swab, got my syringe, my mixing needle, so my 18 gauge, and my actual injection needle, which is 30 gauge. Now the higher the number, the thinner the needle, I presume. But this one's only 1/2 inch, so it is like super tiny. And then obviously I've got my little thing. So I'll just show you these. So I've got a nice clean area here. And I've washed my hands already, but I will use some alcohol scrub in a minute just to be on the safe side. So yeah, this is your actual solution. That's what you mix in, so it's not all in there. What they suggested is if you've got fluid trapped at the top, which I have, they said do a gentle flick. If it's still not moving, swirl it around and then flick again, and then it drops down to the bottom like that, if you can see that. So that's getting into focus. Yeah, so that's the actual solution, and then that's the Menopur. It looks like a tablet in the bottle, but that's the actual medicine there. So that's the stuff. So what they've said I need to do, I need to take that fluid and mix it with that, and then that's my 150 units that I need to take. Now Menopur is it is basically a concentrated solution of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Because what I've done with the Bricellerin is it's basically halted my normal cycle, so it's stopped me ovulating, even though I don't already, but it stops it progressing ahead. So the reason you carry on with that at the same time as the Menopur is because they don't want you ovulating on this treatment, because they want to take the eggs. They don't want you ovulating beforehand, because obviously when they go to get the eggs you would have already ovulated, and that can become a little problematic. But safe to say, I never ovulated before as far as I'm aware, so it doesn't matter. But I've got my alcohol gel, so I'm just rubbing that in. I kind of do this all the time now. Sometimes I have little cuts on my hand and you notice them and they're just like painful. So yeah, I'll show you how quickly I can do this. As I said, I haven't done the Menopur before, so I'm not sure if I've done this before, but I'm going to try. I have to try. So in my bag I've got these little ampule snappers. So I just grab one of them to get a little bag of those, and got more than enough in there, I would say. Because hopefully I'll only be doing injections now for, including today, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hopefully I'm only doing injections now for 11 days. That's hopefully it then. But this is your little ampule snapper. So this is what you use to snap the ampule off. And apparently you put that over the ampule like that. So it's basically just to guard your fingers so that no glass goes anywhere, so you don't hurt yourself. I believe I've put it on the right way around. But there's a little blue dot there, which is its weak point, and that's where you got to snap. And they said you got to snap it, I think it's towards you or away from, no, towards you, so you got to snap it this way. So I won't do that just yet, because apparently you've got to inject it the moment you've mixed it all up and everything. So I'll do that in a minute. I'll just draw my Bricellerin up first. I'm going to do the Bricellerin first, and then I'll do the Menopur. So I'm just opening my little alcohol swab. What I've been doing is been swabbing the top of the bottles. So I've opened my second bottle. I opened my second bottle yesterday. So they recommend that one bottle usually lasts 10 days. So I've managed to get, I think I managed to get 14 days out of one bottle. You're meant to discard it after 15, but on day 14 I just had enough to get enough medicine out, and then that was it. So I've now started a new bottle. So I've got loads in there. So all I do is I swab the top, make sure it's nice and clean. Got my syringe. So my insulin syringe. And what I do is I draw up 0.5 of air, as I said in my regimen prep video. And I stick that in my bottle and I inject that in. That's basic, because you're taking something out, you need to add to it. And then I just add the 0.5 of the regimen. I always draw up a little bit more and then flick it and pop it back in, just to be on the safe side. I've had a tendency of bending the needle by accident. So far, with regards to the injection site, I haven't had any swelling or bruising, but it has felt very tight and quite sore. So although I haven't had any physical bruising, it does feel like it's bruised. So I'm just quite aware of that it's a little bit sore there. Apparently it's going to get worse because I'm injecting another injection. There's potential that it'll get more sore. And then obviously I got my developing ovaries going in there, so my tummy is going to be quite a fragile spot, I expect. So yeah, that's my dose of regimen. So I'm on 0.5. Again, there's that really, really tiny needle. So it's super, super tiny. Ooh. Helps if you don't stab yourself with it. But I'll just pop the thingy on that. So that's done. So that's all drawn up, ready to go. So throw that away. Now I'm going to do my Menopur. I'm going to draw it up and everything. So I've got, these are basically 5 days worth, so this should take me to Monday, hopefully. So I mix, as I said, I'm mixing one of those with one of those. So just pop them back in the box. I would always recommend with any of your medication to be on the safe side, just pop it back in the box that it originally came in. At least then you know it's in a safe spot and they're protected. It does say on here, do not store above 25 degrees, do not freeze. So you don't have to keep them in the fridge, which is a good thing. Be no space in the fridge otherwise. So I've got my regimen ready, that's all drawn up. Move that out of the way. Move my rubbish over there. So this is my 2mm syringe. As I said, you can draw up 2.5 mils with it. But for this, yeah, I only need to draw out what's in there. They did, in my little blue bag, they did give me a leaflet, a guide for self-injection. So that's just that. And it tells you, go step by step through there about how to inject yourself, and it's got pictures which comes quite in handy. There is a video on YouTube made by the Ferring company, sorry that's my reminder, by the Ferring company, that actually shows you how to do all this, how to kind of mix it all, but it all depends on what dose you're on. I'll probably pop a link below just with the ones I've been watching, because it's quite handy to see a nurse showing you how to do everything, because from start to finish, from the time we got into the hospital to the time we left, it was only half an hour. So we'd done my scan, which took less than 5 minutes really, and then we went in to see the nurse. We had a little bit of a wait, then we saw the nurse, and then we were out quite quickly. We went to the pharmacy and picked everything up, so wasn't really that long, so there wasn't a lot of time to ask a lot of questions. But anyway, on your little bottle of Menopur, if you're on Menopur, you've got a little pink cap. Just pop that off, and you notice that it's a little rubber bung like the Bracellin. So like I do with my Bracellin, I just swab the top. I say I've never done this one before, so it's the first time. And you can see inside it's like a powder, almost like a tablet. I've got my 2mm syringe. And then the needle that needs to go on there is the yellow, not the yellow, sorry, wrong needle, the pink mixing needle. So that's the big boy. So I'm just going to take it out of this packet, just put it on there, make sure it's on nice and secure. Now I'll just take the lid off, and you can see how big that needle is. Yeah, that's my thumb, like I showed you with the Bracellin. I mean, you can actually see the point of that one. So yeah, that is a big needle, but you are not putting that inside you. I repeat, you're not putting that one inside you. This is purely for mixing. So yeah, there's that. So this, I've put the little ampule popper over it. And I'll just double check that. Yep, so that's all in there. And then put your thumb on there. And I'm going to put it on the table just to be on the safe side, because it doesn't want to go. Okay, I'm going to have a hard time with this one. Try it the other way around. There, got it. Took a while, but I got it. It's quite hard for the first time, but I expect it'll get easier. So that's the lid in there, in the ampule thing. So I'm just going to chuck that in my sharps box. And then that's the solution. So that's how the top breaks off. So it leaves a complete thing. So he said, take the syringe, stick it in there. Oh wait a minute, I've got a hair on the needle. So take your syringe, put in the solution, and draw all the solution up. I'll just tilt it a bit to get it all up. Believe that's everything. Yeah, so that's completely empty now. So again, in the sharps bin. So in my needle there is probably 1.1 mil, so not a lot of a fluid. And then what they said, you keep your mixing needle on there, and you take it and you push it into the rubber bung, if you can get in there. So into the rubber bung, and then you just start mixing it. So it's all in there, and they said pop that. There's a little groove that you pop it in, and you just swirl to make sure it's all mixed up till it's nice and clear. So that, nice and clear. So again, I'm going to tilt it a little bit, and then you've got to draw it back up into the syringe. And there's a little bit of a pressure by the feel of it. So yeah, you can see there's a bit of a pressure where it's pulling it back in. So I'm just pulling it all out. Just screw it back in because I'm getting a few bubbles. There. So that's empty now. So I've got all the solution up as far as I can see. There's like a tiniest drop in there, but I can't get that out. So again, that goes in there. So this is the fluid in here. And they said flick it so that it's all down the bottom. And then slowly push it to top. Oh gosh. So take the needle off. So take the big needle off. And put that in your sharp spin. I'm going to flick it because if you look, there's a little bit at the top. So I'm going to draw it down. Keep flicking until it's all at the bottom because you don't want to lose any if you can help it. And then slowly push back up to the top. What I'll do is I'll put the little yellow needle on now, just to be on the safe side so I don't lose any. So this is your actual needle that you put in there, so it's your yellow needle. So put it on there nice and tight. Take the lid off. But again, you can see against my thumb that is a tiny needle, but basically the same size as the insulin one. I'm just slowly pushing it up. Making sure none comes out the top. Because you don't really want to have any air in it because that'll make it sting more. So I'm just pushing it up slowly, slowly, slowly. Right, so it's right at the top now, so really there's only about 1 ml of liquid that you're putting inside you, so about that much. Now a good thing is that this needle hasn't pierced anything, so it should be nice and sharp for actually injecting. So that one's all ready to go, as is the Bracelerin. That one's all ready to go, so I've just resheathed them for now. Throw all my rubbish away. Try and keep nice and tidy. Alright, so these are my 2 injections that I've got ready to go. So it's my Bracelerin in the insulin needle, and then the Menopur in the larger syringe. So what I'll be doing, yesterday I did my Bracelerin in my right side, so I'll be doing Bracelerin right side, Menopur left side. So, and then I'll alternate sides, so tomorrow I'll do it again. So for 2 days I'll do Bracelerin twice on the left side the following day, and then the Menopur on the right side for 2 times as well. Anyway, I'm going to get my husband now to record while I do my injections. See you in a minute. Hello, I've got my husband recording now for me. Say hello.
Hello.
I'm just getting my alcohol swab ready, and that's to obviously clean the area for everything. This one's a little bit hard to get into today. So I'll be doing my Bracelerin on my right side and my Menopur on my left side. As you can see, if you look, there's a couple of injection sites where I've done them. What I've been doing is I've been putting my thumb in line with my tummy and then gripping it. I'm quite lucky because I'm a bit podgy, so I've got area to do. So you can see there's a couple of rows of dots where I've been stabbing myself. So I'm going to do my Bracelerin first. So that's going to be done on this side, and then as I said, Menopur that side. So Bracelerin, more Bracelerin, Menopur. So I'm just going to clean the area and prep it all. So I'll probably do one at a time, so one side. So as I said, it needs to be in the middle of your thighs, underneath tummy button. So what I've been doing is I've been running my thumb in line with my tummy and then giving a good old grip. And got a couple of holes previous, so I'll just clean the area. Dry my hands. Got the Brucella ready, so that's all prepped ready, so I won't touch that again. So I've got 0.5 mils in the syringe ready to go. So that's all drawn up ready, just make sure there's no air bubbles. As far as I can see, there's no air bubbles. I've got a minute left because I've been doing it at 8:30, dead on the dot. So that's all ready, so I'll just prep myself. So that's all ready to go. Looking at it, there is a slight bruise appeared there, but nothing really bad. Nothing I can't handle. And that's why you have the arnica for everything. So I've got my syringe here ready for the Brucella, which will go about there, so I'll keep it close to the skin. Just checking the time, make sure it's past. Very precise with that way. So they said grip it like a pen, but I always grip my pens like that anyway, so I'm a little bit silly. Right, it's 8:30, so 1, 2, 3. So that one's in. So just inject slowly, slowly, slowly for the Brucella, which doesn't want to go in today. There are some days where it doesn't want to inject in. It feels like there's a bit of pressure there. Wouldn't worry, wouldn't panic, just carry on injecting as normal. So this one doesn't hurt at all now. I feel a slight pinch when it first goes in, but there's no stinging sensation or anything. I have had a couple of cases where the needle doesn't want to go through, where I've stabbed it into the rubber bung. Nothing too bad. So that one's all gone in now, so really quick. Just push my thumb in that goes in my sharp spin. Just rub that, so I've done that in less than a minute. So just make sure that's all nice to go. So yep, that one's all gone. Just grab mine, so it's now for the Menopur first go. So I'm not going to go where I've been previously because of the 3 lines, so I'm probably going to go more over here, so just put it in line with there. So I'll go about here, but the needle looks like it's the same size as the instance, so really you shouldn't feel it going in. We'll soon find out. I have heard rumours that this one stings a little bit when you administer it, but we're about to find out. So Menopur, 1, 2, 3. Yep, so exactly like the insulin syringe. Loosen up a bit, and then very slowly inject. I'm going a little bit slower with this one than I do the Brucella usually, just because it's new. So far no stinging sensation. It's just quite normal. It's a little bit stubborn going in though. It's like it doesn't want to go in. It's stinging a little bit now. That could be just because the needle's moving around a bit. Alright, that's all in now. So it's all in there. So I'm just going to release the skin a bit, pull it out, put my thumb on it, give it a slight rub, make sure it's all mixed under the skin, because you don't want it kind of bubbling up under the skin if possible. Do that for both sides actually. So rub my tummy better. And that's it, all done. So no bruising, no stinging, nothing. All done for now. So hopefully next video will be next update for scans to see how my ovaries are doing. So see you then. Bye. Done.